Hey y'all, sflogicninja here, or you can call me David Earl. I really don't care. Anyway, lesson 10. This is basically, I'm trying to answer a number of questions at the same time in this video. Some of them are basics, some of them are a little bit more advanced, and one of them in particular, in the end of the last video, lesson 9, I talked about recording to an audio track what you have on a reason track. In this case, I'm going to do that technique where I take the output of one audio strip and I'm going to record it to another audio strip. So in this case, it's going to be a piano to an audio track, software instrument piano to an audio track. I'm also going to do a drum beat to an audio track. I'm going to go over anchor points. I'm going to go over moving things around in the arrange window. I'm going to talk a little bit about how to quantize on a macro level. I'm going to go really quick through the Midi editors. There's going to be a lot of information in a very short amount of time. So this would be a good opportunity to send me a comment and let me know if there's anything specifically you want me to retouch on, and I'll answer your comments and take your messages. And once again, thank you very much for watching. I've gotten a really good response to this, and it makes me feel as though it's worthwhile. So take care, and until our next cartoon, take care, and ciao.
Okay, I'm going to right click and I'm going to use my pencil tool. And I just created a blank region. Okay? So the blank region, think of it like this. You just put a blank piece of paper there, and you can put notes on it. So if you wanted to write notes from scratch, let's say, you could double click on it and you get a Midi editor. Okay? There are 4 Midi editors. There's the piano roll, there is the score window, there is the hyper editor, and then over here in list view you have an event list. Okay, those are the 4 Midi editors built into Logic, period. Alright, when you have a region in the arrange window and you click and hold on the center of it, you can move it around. Now you'll notice that it's snapping to a grid right now. When you hold Control, it goes to the next step of resolution, which is usually going to be this number, 16th notes. Okay, that's called a division. If you hold down Control and Shift, okay, check it out. I'm going to move. It's moving by quarter notes. I hold down Control, moves by 16th notes, so there's going to be 4 to each quarter note. Then if I hold Control and Shift, it's really getting down to ticks. It's the finest resolution possible. That's the basics for moving stuff around in the arrange window. Now if you hold Option and drag, I have 2 regions, right? It's like magic. Now if I click on this region, over on the left hand side here, I have region parameters. Okay? We have quantize, we have loop, transposition, velocity, dynamics, gate time, and delay. Now when you click on this quantize here, basically what it does is it quantizes all of the information, all of the note information that is within this region. If I click on this region, all of this information here relates to this region. Now when I click on the background and nothing is selected, when it says MIDI through, what it's going to do is it's going to process the MIDI as it comes into the arrange window. So let's say that you're making beats and you play a drum kit, you record a drum kit. If you have your MIDI through quantize set to 8th notes, it will automatically quantize anything that you record to the arrange window in 8th notes. So take for instance my piano that I just put there. I'm going to assign MIDI through to 8th notes, and I'm just going to play something in. Thanks, I'll be here all night. No, just kidding. So if I click on this region now, I can see that it's quantized to 8th notes. If I play it back, It's ruthlessly quantized. But that's good if you're making a drum beat, right? It's going to help you out. One thing that's cool is every MIDI event that you record in Logic is completely non-destructive. So even though I told it to quantize the stuff that I recorded on input, I can always click on this region, go back and say off, and I get my original performance. Like I had like a little triplet there, right? So that's pretty cool. All of the MIDI stuff that comes in is non-destructively edited, and that's when you have MIDI through on. Okay, so if quantize to eighth notes is on, it'll automatically quantize. So a subscriber named I think it's GURLCAA. I don't even know if I want to try and pronounce that. Girl Ka was trying to record a beat. And she's like, it's just not lining up right. Well, one thing you can do is if you click on the background here, nothing is selected. It says MIDI through. That means that it's going to quantize on input. So you don't have to go back after the fact and select the region and go and quantize it if you don't want to. Okay? So there's a little hint for you. All right, so we've talked about that. We've talked about if I'm moving stuff around, if I want to move it at a higher resolution, I hold down Control. If I want it at the highest resolution possible, I hold down Control and Shift, and that'll move whatever region I have by ticks. Now, over on the right-hand side of the screen here, where it says Snap and Drag, snap means how it's going to, if I'm moving this around, it's how it's going to snap to my grid, right? So right now it's set to smart, and what smart snap means is it bases it on how zoomed out you are. So it's basically going to go to the best resolution for the zoom level that you're at. But you can make it rigid. I mean, you can make it bar, beat, division, tick, etc., etc. And it'll just snap to that. It'll snap to the nearest bar, snap to the nearest beat, snap to the nearest division, etc., etc. And then you have dragging. This has to do with audio primarily. If you take a piece of audio and you say overlap, it'll take the two pieces of audio and it'll play, like, let's say that you have the first piece of audio and the second piece of audio, and you take the second piece of audio and lay it on top of the first one. So I guess I should probably just do that for you. I'll go into the media library here, grab a loop, and how about some drums? Some cheerful drums. Some funky Latin drums. Awesome. So I'm going to mute this piano track. Now check it out. I pull this over. If you're in overlap mode, when I pull this piece of audio over this piece of audio, you can see that this piece of audio is overlapping this piece of audio. The piece of audio that's on top is the one that's going to play. Okay? Now, if you're in a different drag mode, say no overlap, if I pull this over, they're not overlapping. It automatically trimmed the end of that region. Okay? So I'll pull that back out. If you're in crossfade mode, it'll actually crossfade the two files together.